Hello, chickadees. Today we're coming back to you with another weekly MSF News Buzz. That's right, we're looking at the blog post and any other relevant information that came out. The blog post drops on Friday, and we start dissecting it and looking for information, giving you some reactions, as well as talking to you about how it can affect you and how you can best take advantage of what's going to be coming up in the next week or so in Marvel Strike Force. We tailor a lot of the information to the early, beginner, and mid-game players because there's plenty of information out there for those higher end players, and so we want to make sure you get the information that you need and don't get misled by some of the other stuff that's out there. Anyway, we're going to go on over to the buzz, but before we do that, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you'll be notified of my next video. Be sure to follow the links down below for both my Discord as well as my Twitch, where I stream all the time, so that you can be part of the shenanigans on stream and part of the community in between streams. I'm probably streaming right now. So that means it's time, chickadees, to take this henhouse ride and go into the Marvel Strike Force Weekly Buzz. Buzz, 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 buzz. Oh crap, who let in all these bees? Stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop, stop, stop. Welcome back to the Marvel Strike Force Buzz, and let's get started. Here we go. It is suit up. Some have said it says shut up. That's not what it says. It says suit up. If you choose to assume that it says shut up, well, maybe you know more than we do. Anyway, suit up. Here we go on the blog. Greetings, Commanders. We're talking about going back in time without those pesky paradoxes to work on our costumes. Isn't about style over substance. New monthly event to help stock up on training modules. There we go, and a legendary event. Let's talk about what we got. The timeless looks. All right. Now, I've talked a lot about this being Marvel Strike Force and not Marvel Strike Fashion when we talk about people's costumes, how they look, and how they fit together. Apparently, we may be playing in Marvel Strike Fashion, just so you know. But it's still Marvel Strike Force with a side of Marvel Strike Fashion. Anyway, add a blast from the past with your Strike wardrobe with the upcoming Timeless Looks event. Costume-centered event consists of the Form and Function milestone and Dress to Impress bonus event. So two different things. Main rewards will be the Pink Flash Blitz. Everybody wants Pinky Flash Bits. You can redeem to acquire a choice of 3 different costumes, so we'll have a choice. That's important to know. Recommend building up your costume collection using bits like the ones featured in this event, so be sure to rack them up like you put them on the rack at a wardrobe rack. See? Puns. There they go. They have puns. They must be great. All right, Form and Function milestone. Starting on May 17th, engage in Arena, Alliance War, and Raid battles with any character. This is important, any character. Don't have to worry about who you use. Just do some Arena, some Alliance War, and some Raid battles. All right, to earn points towards a 7-day milestone with rewards that include the Pinky Flash Bits. That's what I'm calling them. The Catalyst parts, Orange Gear, and Armory 14 and 15 orbs. All right, sounds good. All right. So we'll get some of those. We'll get the bits. The Dress to Impress bonus event. Starting at the conclusion of the Form and Function milestone, this bonus event rewards Pink Flash bits and campaign nodes for 24 hours. These bits earned from the Timeless Looks event can be used to purchase your choice of 3 limited time costumes. So we got the Scarlet Witch WandaVision costume, the Vision's WandaVision 50s costume, and Thor's Siege costume. All right, let's pop on over to the game where we can see what we're talking about here. So let's look at Wanda. Here she is, beautiful that she is, underused. And here is the 1950s WandaVision. If you recognize this from watching WandaVision, this will be available. All right. Also, as we go back to Vision, this is not the white Vision that you may be looking for. It's the 1950s business suit Vision. Okay, so some of you who have watched WandaVision may be really enthralled with these. These are pretty meh for me. They don't look bad, but they're really not doing it for me as a comic book geek. All right, now the other one is on Thor, and it is the Siege. Now, people have different opinions about this one. I like this one. This one comes from first appearance of Thor 2007, number one. I was reading those comics. I'm a comic book nerdy geek, so this one's actually fairly comic authentic. I like it. I am probably interested in this one out of any if I can get it for free. So your results may vary, and that's fine, but just be aware those are the three costumes we're talking about. And let's go back to the blog. Note, unused Blitz will be converted to costume credits on June 7th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. They're being very specific, so you know what's going on. Only a couple of days after the event ends at a rate of 60%. So don't miss this opportunity to grab new garb. That means you're going to keep 60% of what you earn if you don't spend it. Does that mean you need to spend it? No, but just know that you're not going to keep everything you have. So if you kind of like one of them, it might be worth getting it. Just be aware. Now we go into back to boot camp here. As strike roster is growing in size, so is the need to train characters for battle. To help get more training modules, that's important. People have been asking about those. In your pocket, we've added a new monthly flash event that will kick off in the near future. Back to boot camp. This is a new monthly flash event. So we've already got Block Party. We have the Catalyst event with the hand. Block Party is really every other month. We have the Chaos Theory event with Wakandans, etc. This is one of those events. So expect it to run not when one of the other ones is running, and we'll just see on that. So it's going to give us training materials. People have complained about not having enough training materials. I know in my baby account, I don't have training materials, but I have gold. A lot of times you will have either you'll be out of gold or you'll be out of training materials. So this is supposed to give us a chance to build up on the training material side of things. Now back to boot camp. Lead your top skill military team through a series of missions to earn tons of training modules during this 24-hour event. This is also like the current event that we have going on for our mercenaries. Again, another event. Let's see if we can pop into that just to give you an idea what these events look like. There was Payday. It's over. But this one allowed you over 24 hours to earn gold with the mercenary team. So this is going to be one that uses skill military in order to help you get training materials instead of gold. So now skill military was essentially a new team that was touted to be really great and turned out to be a bit of a flop. They've been reworked and are supposed to be better, and now they will be tied to this event, just like the Wakandans, who were touted to be a great raid team, turned out to be a flop, and then got later tied to a monthly event, that being Chaos Theory. So you will need the skill military in order to get these training materials and be aware of that. So you want to find some ways to make use of them because you're probably going to want these training materials at some point, if not always. So that gives you a reason to be working on them. Now let's look at the missions. Pay no attention to the recommended tiers. That stuff, it's recommended. If you can beat it, you can beat it. Let's look at the required bits. So mission 1 requires 4 of the skilled military characters at 2 stars. Mission 2 requires 4 characters at 2 stars. Nothing's bad here. Mission 3, 4 characters at 3 stars. Mission 4, 4 skilled military characters at 4 stars. Now at 5, we need to get the 5 skill military characters at 5 stars and 1 ISO 8 green 1. All right, at 6, 5 characters again with 6 stars, ISO 8 green characters at 2. All right, and 7, we need to get 5 characters, 7 stars, ISO 8 green 3. Let's look a little bit at what we're talking about. Who are these characters? What's going on? So I think one of the important things to note here is once you hit mission 5, you start requiring ISO 8 green levels. We haven't had this before. We've had things with 5 stars and we've had recommended uses, but here, if you don't have the ISO 8 green 1 on your 5 5-star characters, they're not going to be eligible. Now, it really doesn't take a lot to level somebody up to ISO 8 green 1, green 2, and even green 3 is really not that hard, but it does mean you're going to have to spend them. It does remind me of some of the surveys that have come out more recently where I know I was saying, hey, I don't really need these ISOs that badly. I just work on the ones I have. And it seems like this will be yet another way to make me need them and have to spend them so that I have to work harder to get some more. I don't know. Sorry I answered that on the survey. Maybe you did too. All right, but that's part of it. Let's look at the characters that we're talking about. I've favorited a bunch of them for this video. So to make it even easier, I'm going to go to the military and skill side. Military, skill, because there's been some changes on that, and that limits it down. As you can see, we have more than 5, which is a nice thing. Black Widow's been added to that most recently. But Punisher, many of you who've been playing longer should have Punisher from your Defenders team, so he's no big deal. Killmonger there, member of both the Wakandans and the Mercenaries. Black Widow, newly added, member of the Wave 1 Avengers, and now the Skill Military. Now, Yelena, one of the newer characters, who's been less than thrilling but is available. And Red Guardian, who's available in the store, and is has some uses, but typically those uses are more in late game. And then Mercenary Soldier, who's just a little kid that gets to tag along. Not that hard to get, but can sub in. So you'll be able to attempt to do this as long as you're willing to place those level 1 ISOs and further on some of these characters. You can see that I have characters here that I haven't built up, and you may be the same way. You're going to want to form that team. And when we're talking about that, let's think a little bit about how this affects the beginner, early, and mid-game players. Like I said, Punisher is going to be a pretty potent member of the skill military, so he helps with that. He's not bad. He's a decent blaster, things like that, so he has some use. Killmonger is going to really shine for you because he's going to help you with your Wakandans, which means he can help with the Chaos Theory event as well as the skill military event. And he also is a member of the Mercenaries, so he can slot in on the Mercenary team for the Gold event, as well as being a potential part of a War Defense team. So Killmonger is wearing many hats, not just the goat head hat that he seems to wear here as in his event. He may be one of the best ones to invest in for this so that you can cover him on multiple uses. Black Widow is going to cover you in skill military, but is also an important member of the Wave 1 Avengers. So that'll help you. And they're recommended right now as being one of those starter teams. So you probably are putting some effort into her if you're newer to the game and starting that. And also, once you get in later in the game, the Wave 1 Avengers make a decent war defense team. So they have some use later in the game as well. And she'll be part of that as well. Now, Yelena and Red Guardian are more about being part of that skill military. We'll see how useful they are eventually, but they're more of that one-trick ponies in there. Although Red Guardian tends to have a lot of use later in the game, but if you're a new player, it's not that big of a deal. But later on, you'll be able to get him. And then the Mercenary Soldier, he's more of like, don't worry about him, but you may get him on accident because you don't want him, and you find that you have him. And then if that helps you get the 5th that you need in order to complete the event, then you're good until these others go. So that's just a little bit of thoughts about that. All right, let's go on back to the blog. All right, another important part to look at with these events. All right, the way these events roll out, you only get 3 tries at any of these events anytime. So no matter if you're the crackenest Kraken or the free-to-playest free-to-player, all right, who's just started, if you only have 3 tries, you can complete mission 1, followed by mission 2, followed by mission 3. That's the first month. Okay, no one can do better than that. It does not matter how much you spend. For once in your life, you don't have to worry about that. No one is getting past mission 3 on the first month. All right, and they need 4 skilled military characters. On the second month, the people who made it through 3 can get past 4, 5, and then 6 with the 3 tries that you have. no one will get to 7 on the second month. No one, regardless of spending. Okay. That means if you're worried, it'll take till the third month that this rolls around for mission 7, which requires 5 skilled military characters at 7 stars and ISO 8 green 3 be required. You have 3 months to work on this. Okay. You do not need to do it now. That doesn't mean ignore it, but it means you don't have to be ready when it rolls around in the next week or so. All right. Because all you have to do is be able to hit missions 1, 2, or 3. And then if it takes you a little bit longer, that's not necessarily the biggest deal. All right. But just be aware of that. So there's going to be a press. There's probably going to be some offers to spend on the skilled military. And you're going to think, I need to buy them now. I need to get to 7 stars today. Even if you're at 7 stars, you're not getting past mission 3 with this first round. And even with the second round, you're not getting past mission 6. So be aware of that. Don't fall into the panic spending that's coming out. Okay. Now, repeating legendary characters. Move over Magneto and Invisible Woman. New legendary character joining the repeating legendary event schedule. Starting on May 24th, not too far from now, Star-Lord Space Ace legendary event will become a repeating legendary event, meaning that it'll run more often. Typically, this means every 6 weeks, okay? You'll need a team of Guardians and or Ravagers at a minimum of 5 stars to unlock this cosmic controller with sick dance moves. All right, they're keeping him at 5 stars as an unlock. That's important to know. When they retired Iron Man, he went down to 3 stars, making him easier. He will still be easier because he's available every 6 weeks. And he has some decent uses, although he's been power crept as of late, particularly in the last 6 months. But you'll need to get those characters, whether they be Guardians or Ravagers, in to 5 stars to unlock him. And instead of the login calendar, you'll receive an email of shards, and that will help you. And then a bonus event that will allow you to get more when you're trying to farm for them. Now, these guys have really fallen in the recent times. But the truth is, the Guardians can help you in doing some stuff in raids and doing some stuff well, mainly raids at this point. You're also able to unlock them with a mishmash of Guardians and Ravagers. So it's possible that just through random chance or opening various orbs and getting characters that you weren't really looking for, that you're a lot closer to unlocking Star-Lord than you thought. So now that he'll be available so much more frequently, that's going to help you get there. And if you end up with them, that's going to help you in some of the Greek raids, particularly if you don't have a Wave 1 Avengers team, because they pair off on the Greek raids with the Wave 1 Avengers. So just be aware. I use them on my Greek raids because they're better than my Wave 1 Avengers. But now with my baby account, I'm working on the Wave 1 Avengers, and that makes them more of a moot team. Now, the movies for the Guardians of the Galaxy are popular, and we know that there's another one coming out. So there's a really good chance, just kind of from the meta speaking, that the Guardians of the Galaxy will get some type of rework and become relevant so that people who are excited about the movie will be excited to buy these characters. So I'm not saying run out and get them, but it's the kind of thing where you're not going to hurt to have a wider roster that includes a good Guardians team run by Star-Lord. He helps a lot, particularly in Ultimus level 6 raids and lower. So if you're newer and a newer middle and beginning player and you're doing Ultimus 5 and 6, he can really help you rock there. And he's got those sick dance moves like they talked about. So just be aware. But don't go selling the house for him. All right? He's going to be available more often. Now, upcoming blitzes. All right, add Science and a Samurai to your arsenal with this week's blitzes. Bubbling to the surface on May 17th, coming tomorrow, is the Experimental Blitz, where you can concoct character shards for Scientist Supreme by mixing equal parts victory and dominance in battle. This is part of the Made in the Lab event, which is already going on right now at the time of this recording, which means Blitz wins will also reward fragments for the Aim Orb, which contains Aim character shards in the center pillar and golden gear in the side pillars. Okay, we're doing this right now with Graviton. Like I talked about last week's Buzz video, the AIM team is still pretty good. It's a good villains team. It's not that hard to get. It's a good starter villains team. You need Graviton, who's available, who really boosts the theme, and Scientist Supreme really makes it rock as well. So that's good. We right now we're getting Graviton. We have a chance to get her. These orbs that are coming out are boosting our AIM characters, including Graviton, which really helps. I'm working pretty hard on my baby account, where I'm working on the AIM team to get them boosted up. I recommend you do something similar if you don't already have them. Also, there's the new Hulu show with MODOK that's coming out in the next week. It looks like it's going to be fun and hilarious. I plan to watch it. I'm not a paid shill for Scopely or Marvel or Hulu, but it does look fun. MODOK is going to, be part of the leadership of AIM. There's rumors abounding on YouTube, etc., that talk about MODOK coming into the game, and of course, being connected to AIM. It would, to use some Southern terms, it would behoove you to work on your AIM team so that if MODOK comes in, you have an even better connection with him, and able to leverage what's going on. They're doing these events for some reason, and you don't really want to miss out. Don't sell the farm on this, but it helps if you're a new player or an early player that doesn't have an AIM team. They're going to help you in Villains Chapter 7, 1 through 3 nodes. They're one of the options for that. They can help you summon War. They can help you in Blitz, different things like that. So they have a few uses if you build them up. And if MODOK comes in and changes things like we had with a rework before when they added Graviton, then things are going to be changed further and they're going to be even more relevant. So just be aware. Worst case scenario, you're stuck with a team that is somewhat useful, helps you in the campaign nodes, and right now it's going to be easier to get some of those character shards. All right, so be aware. Now, immediately up next on May 20th is the first run of the Dragon Daughter Blitz featuring Colleen Wing. Woohoo! Colleen Wing, here she is. All right, now she's the dragon. Dragon Daughter, she's part of the Heroes for Hire. This is going to be her first part of the Blitz release. We haven't had a good Blitz release in a little while. I've got a video. You should check out the cards on that, and that'll either be on this page or at the end of the page after I learn to insert them. About opening her orbs and her red star orbs. So she's a new character, and she's really going to help those Heroes for Hire be kind of gel like the Big Lebowski, bring the team together. All right, and be an important member of War Defense. Even if you don't have her on War Defense, you're going to have to figure out how to deal with her and the team on War Defense at some point. So be aware. It'll be good. A lot of people are going to be interested in this Blitz. Not a lot of people are going to be interested in the Scientist Supreme Blitz. That's more for the early characters, early players, and mid-game players who still need her. But for her, there's going to be plenty of interest. Check out my video to see about orb opening on that as well. So she's coming, and this will be her first round, and we'll get another round of her a little later. They'll probably talk about it in the next blog. And bonus and flash events. Jam-packed schedule coming, big name teams. They're talking about on May 15th, prep for the upcoming Black and Ebony Legendary event. That'll be so we can earn more Inhuman shards in order to get ready for Ebony Maw. All right. Now, again, as I reminded you in the buzz last week, if you don't have Black Bolt, you're not getting Ebony Maw. If you don't have Black Bolt and your Inhumans up to the star levels that you need, you're not raising up Ebony Maw. Very important just to remember, because you don't want to fall into a trap of thinking that you should spend on something when you can't actually get them. So if you didn't already get your Asgardians up to unlock Black Bolt and have him and the other Inhumans ready to unlock Ebony Maw, you're fine. Just work on getting up, developing your Inhumans and developing Black Bolt so that you're ready the next time around that Ebony Maw comes. He's great. You want him and you want to build him up. But if you have to give a pass, just be aware of that and don't sink some money into it when it doesn't matter. Yeah. Made in the Lab event continues on the 16th with the Bad Science bonus event. And that's going to give you those extra pieces for Scientist Supreme. Then the Back to Boot Camp event comes for your Skill Military piece to boost those. And then a block party on May 22nd. Gives you ability materials. That happens every other month. It should happen every month, but who knows what Scopely's doing. Rewards your city heroes for their efforts in battles with tons of ability materials. Make sure your city heroes are ready with the neighborhood watch event, which will lead you up. One nice thing that's happened with this used to this was where people built up their defenders to do this. That was the tradition when the defenders were good. Defenders haven't been good for some time. However, the symbiote team, which is good, is a great raid team and helps you in Dark Dimension, are all city characters as well. So you can use them. In fact, that's what I did as I stopped working on my defenders at some point and started building up my symbiotes, where they were able to move through the different city nodes and city challenges. So you have some options there. Now, these city characters from the defenders are also moving into the heroes for hire, where they'll be more useful in war defense. So just be aware you have some play there. You can do a mix and match between them, and that might be successful enough to get what you want. But be aware of that, and I hope that's helpful. Let me go into until next time. Please be aware. We're going to be doing the Marvel Strike Force Buzz every week as we respond to the blog posts that come in and go from there. I'm going to be showing some more information, and please make sure you follow us on Twitch and like this video, hit the bell for notifications, subscribe to this channel. It's free and it helps us out a lot in the channel. Make sure you drop us some comments below and let us know what kinds of things you want to see and hear about as we work on different content for Marvel Strike Force, as well as some of the other games that we're doing, like Star Trek Fleet Command, Scopely's other game. So anyway, check all that stuff out. I appreciate you being here, and cock-a-doodle doo. I hope you enjoyed the weekly MSF Buzz video telling you about the news and reactions to the blog post. I hope that helps you as you plan for what you're going to be doing this week and the next to come as you develop your rosters and get yourself to be a bigger and badder commander in Marvel Strike Force. Please make sure that you like the video, give it a thumbs up, ring the bell so you get notified. Put a comment down below and let me know what you thought and anything else that you'd like to see some comments on. Also, you'll find in the description below a link to my Discord where people hang out and we're building a community of helpful people, as well as a chance for you to place some information about things you'd like to see and that I can work on. As well as links to my Twitch videos. You'll see this stuff on the here on the links there for my Twitch stream as well as Twitter. Make sure that you drop over there and drop a follow so that you can catch the live shenanigans when we're streaming. A lot of stuff. We have a lot of fun there, and I hope to see you there. And if you do join me, please let me know you're coming in from a YouTube video. We want to give you a special welcome. So I appreciate it very much. You guys take care, and cock-a-doodle doo.